I remember it's funny because I've been going through phases in my life where, as a kid, I talked a lot, and it wasn't until I became like a teenager that I stopped talking. And it sounds weird, but as a teenager, I had a lot of social anxiety, which made it hard for me to talk to people and connect to people, make friends. And it's funny because as a kid, I used to talk a lot. I didn't care, I didn't give a fuck about what anybody thought of me as a kid. But for some reason, when puberty hit, things just changed. And I've wondered often why my life changed so much. And I still, to this day, have some of that teenage person inside me that is kind of afraid of what people think of me. And I think the reason is because you generally see this happen a lot to people, I find. When they go from being children into teenagers, people start getting anxiety, start feeling depression and stuff like that. That's rare to find in like small kids pre-puberty. That's really hard to find. I think it's because when you go through puberty, your brain develops so much. And that's when we start actually developing more consciousness. That is all a theory. I have not done any research on this at all. I could be completely wrong. It's a theory that I think we develop a lot more consciousness when we become teenagers because, obviously we go through so many changes, hormones like fly in every direction, and erections, and I think we get a lot smarter because of the consciousness. And when humans start becoming more conscious, we start thinking of a trillion different possibilities in life. This is actually something I've thought about a lot. We start realizing that other people could be thinking different things about us. And I just don't think we think that way as kids. We don't realize that other people can think negative things about us. Maybe, it could be completely wrong. But I think we start realizing this way more when we start becoming teenagers. And that's like why a period of my life, especially like my teenage years, I was very self-conscious, super insecure, suffered a lot from social anxiety, even from a bit of depression during my teenage years. I just remember my teenage years as not being very enjoyable. I remember being quite happy as a kid. I remember being sad a lot as a kid, but the far majority of the time I was really happy because I just didn't care what people thought of me. I was 100% myself as a kid. I know that. I know that. I know I just, I thought about what people thought of me, but I didn't act according to that. That's it, actually. That's it. I just realized that just now. I I did actually think about what people thought of me and I cared what people thought of me, but I didn't act according to that. And that's what changed when I became a teenager. I started trying to change the way I was to make people like me. And I still suffer a bit from that today. I my neck my neck hurts a lot. I don't know what's happening. Like I feel like stretching my neck a lot. um what happened was, yeah, I still feel that a bit today, that I try to change my personality every now and then to get people to like me, and that's just such a horrible thing, and it's such a bad habit, and I have a very hard time um getting rid of that habit. It's very, very hard. It's something I'm working on. And that stems from my teenage years for sure. And I believe that it's because humans are so conscious about their own existence, and almost too conscious, and humans are almost too smart for their own good.